Okay, so Cassie comes in red lingerie,
Hmm.
and you knew who she was right away.
Immediately, I'm a year younger than her, so I.
Yo, what's up? It's Outer Space, man. Don the Dealer goes crazy, and they detail his freak-off encounter with Diddy and Cassie. Man, they were really up to some kinky shit. This shit was just wild. A lot of baby oil, a lot of towel, a lot of big baby oil in the tubs. Man, they were up to some real freaky shit. I don't understand what type of fetish did he have, because this is just wild to me. But it is what it is, man. You need to watch a full video. Let's get it.
Grew up with the Me and You song and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I don't believe that I'm really here right now, but let's see where this goes. So.
Okay, so then the two of you started to talk.
Yeah, we started talking. He left the room for a second, and mind you, when I got in there, I didn't really know what was going to happen, but I just noticed like there's a lot of towels, white towels on all the couches and the furniture and stuff. There's a red light over in the side. They're playing like, some very vibey music. And there's like a ton of baby oil like scattered about everywhere, like more than any one man should have, and especially in a hotel room, right? So he had got up and left, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, I made the joke like, there's so much baby oil and candles in here. Like one wrong move and we all gonna die. We all gonna blow up in this thing. So, but she was very communicative in the fact that she was joking and very playful with me. She told me that she picked me from the site. And it seemed as if this was something that they'd been doing for some years. They said they'd been doing this for a while too. So as far as like the vibe of the night, I took my cues from them. They pretty much knew exactly what they wanted. Again, felt like they'd done this before. And that's pretty much how it started out.
So this sort of talking and, sort of intimate kind of conversation, that lasted for hours.
Yeah, I mean, I was initially supposed to be with her for about 4 or 5 hours. I got paid as soon as I got there. And I'm thinking, again, up to this point, a lot of what I'd been doing was just hanging out. And at that point, yeah, it was 4 or 5 hours into it. I thinking I'm about to go home, and then all of a sudden he was like, "All right, we're gonna turn this thing up a little bit." The music changed. More baby oil comes out. Baby oil and KY. I'm like, who got this? It's baby oil and KY comes out. It's heated. They've been heating the baby oil the whole time that we talking in the tub. Right. So this was like they kind of knew what they were doing. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, that's when it kind of started off. He was more so wanting us to just talk to each other. His whole thing is like being very verbal. So he was in the kitchen in the dark with a bottle of Ciroc.
Hold up, man. All of you guys is gay. No way I'm gonna be in the room rock solid while Diddy's in there directing me, telling me what to do with Cassie. Man, that was just some wild shit, man. Diddy got a crazy fetish. He got a crazy cuckold fetish. Because that shit just crazy to me, man. You have to get guys with BBC to bang your chick because you're from the itty bitty community. That ninja got a micro penis. He ain't packing shit. This ninja got a shit small like a thumb. So understand why Diddy had to do all of these freak off, so that he can make his girlfriend happy. So a lot of people are saying that Cassie is not a victim. She was comfortable for doing all of this freaky shit with Diddy, and Diddy did not force her to do all of this shit that she has done. She wanted to do this. She wanted the opportunity to be a star, and Diddy was slutting her out. Diddy was giving her all of the dreams in the world and then turning her in a hole. So understand that Diddy is a super manipulator. He like to control people and tell them what to do. But no way I'm gonna be comfortable with Diddy be in the room knocking off his meat and be telling me what to do and be saying, "Get it, king, do it to her." Man, that ninja is just some weird ninja, man. He's on some crazy freaky timing. No way I'm doing that shit. You can give me any amount of money in the world. I'm not doing that. Diddy is freaky, but it is what it is, man. You need to watch a full video. Let's get it.
And we're sitting on the couch, and he was like, "What do you like about him? You picked him from the site. What made you pick him from the site? What do you like about her?" He was more so, he wanted us to talk and act like he was not there at all. So that's kind of how it progressed, but it was a very long progression over the course of hours and hours.
Right, because at one point he said, it's the love hour.
Right. And that's when when the love hour happened and he became Brother Love, then it was like a totally different, the vibe changed. It was more so like the music switched up. He was asking, did he want to refresh drinks and stuff? Like a cool host almost, but you can kind of tell like they had some type of formula of where they wanted the night to go. So I was just along for the ride, honestly.
Okay, so you guys start with contact in the beginning, and that actually leads up to at the end?
Yeah, it was more so just physical touch. So there was lots of baby oil around, as I said before, and he was like, okay, why don't you put some baby oil on her? And then she was like, he asked her, do you want you to put some baby oil on him? So it was more so that talking, caressing, stuff like that for hours, like for an ungodly long amount of time. And at a certain point, she would start to kind of like come towards me to kind of like move things along. And he would be like, no, go back. You know, you just tell him you're moving too fast, you know? So he never was telling anybody what he wanted them to do. He never gave demands to say, touch him, do this. He would say, what do you want to do? Do you want to do this? Do you like that about him? It was all about the verbal cues for him.
Okay, so at the end, you guys actually engage in.
Yeah, at the end, about like hour 8 or 9 or something like that. It was insane.
At the end of the, though, something specific happens.
Right, so he wanted me to finish on climax on her. So, and this was something that she said that she was ready for as well. Again, we've been there for a couple hours. It was a weird thing because at this point in time, I'd never had like another male in the room like that. So when he was like, finish, you got to finish manually. So it was a task. Like, I feel like this arm was significantly bigger than this arm by the time I left, because I'm just like, this is weird. He's literally off to the side, drinking Ciroc, talking about, get it, King. Get her, King. It was just a weird, Diddy, he's in like this. So I'm like, all right, this is surreal. But so I finish, and my thought process is, they were getting up to go take a shower because we were in the living room and they were going to go back to their back room. So when she got up to go to the back room, I didn't think anything of it. You're not going to use these KY Johnson & Johnson towels to wipe that off, right? So I'm thinking you're going to go to the back room. So it never crossed my mind what they were doing back there. Had no idea that she was finger painting on his chest with, so yeah.
Yeah, what was funny was when I had Punisher on my show, and the exact same routine, right? Have pull out on her, and then she would like run off in the other room, with it. Because a lot of times with him, like Diddy would go in the other room before they finished, and she would like go to him and close the door. And he said when he watched the trial, and when she said that, she would take the cum and rub it on his chest, he was actually relieved because he thought that Diddy was eating it.
I don't know if I'd be relieved. I'm probably equally as terrified from both of those things, right? I'm like, there's no way this is a good scenario.
It's all bad, no matter how you do it.
It's a lot. I found out just like he did during the court process, and I'm reading this transcript with my girlfriend, and she's like, he did what? So it was like, we were all blindsided by that. I never got that vibe from him, that this was something that he was, to me, it was just, he's all about the visual. He wants to watch. I didn't know they were engaging and stuff in the back room. When they would leave, he would be like, all right, bro, you can go ahead and order room service and smoke. And, if you want to leave, you can leave, or I'll come back out and we'll hang out for a second. And then maybe we'll do another one. But, this is like 8 or 9 hours in. I'm not trying to do nothing else. So more times than not, it would just be wrapped up after that.
Okay. So you got paid $3,500 and they booked you 2 more times.
Yeah, they booked me 3 more times. One of those times, I came over and I got off the elevator and he pretty much met me at the door and was like, hey, she's not feeling good right now, so we're going to scratch this and do it like a different night. I'm like, all right, cool. So.
Okay. Now, as you're getting to the second and third session, it was pretty much the same routine, but certain things were different because at one point, you guys would be having, you and Cassie, and then Diddy would like tag in.
Yeah, like so we'd be engaging, and he would be like, all right, King, like I'm about to tap in right now. And then he would say, go over there. So I would go over there, and then he'd come over, and then they would engage in their own passionate intercourse, which wouldn't last too long. And then he'd be like, all right, I'm good, come back over. And he'd go back over to where he was, and then I'd sit there, and yeah, he kind of switched off, but he never wanted me around him, which is why I thought that the gay accusations were a bit much, because knowing him as long as I've known him, right, I never got that vibe from him. He never even wanted me next to him when this was happening. I didn't want him next to me either, so it seemed like we were all on the same page, right? So
Yeah.
he did his thing.
Although rubbing your cum on his nipples is somewhat gay, so
I wasn't involved in that. I wasn't involved in that.
I know
but
you
yes,
weren't, but I'm just saying,
yes.
talking
Yeah,
about
what he
the gay
did,
rumors,
that was diabolical.
there's
What he
that
did
one
behind
hill you have
closed
to get
doors.
over, you know, to
Picasso
try
on
to
his
dispel that
chest.
myth. I'm just saying, it's a big hill. It's very
a lot.
steep.
It's a very big hill.
It's a very steep hill. Now, in the beginning, you and Cassie were using condoms, but that switched at one point.
Yeah, I think one time we went without, and to be clear on that, he would always ask, do you want to do this without a condom? And they would have a conversation as if I'm not in the room, very calm. She'd be like, oh, I don't know. He's like, these guys are tested. And she would ask me, I'm like, yeah, I'm tested. And he'd be like, do you want to do this? And she'd be like, no, not right now. And he would kind of just let that go. He was never forceful in like saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. So, and I think one of the times out of the 4 was one time that we did engage in intercourse without protection, but it was very quick. She came to me and started that process and looked to him to see if this was something that was like cool to do, and he kind of gave a head nod, and that's what it was.
In the words of Cameron,
How do you think it was? It was great.
it was great.
It was great. I was singing Me and You in my head the whole time. It was good. It was good.
Okay. So after the 4th time when Cassie couldn't join in, that was the last time that you saw Cassie and Diddy together.
Yeah, that was the last time.
Well, then we fast forward to 2021, which is like 5 years later, and you get contacted again.
Right.
So what happens then?
I get a text message on my phone, and it was saying, he's like, hey, this is Diddy. This is Puff. Are you around? I had no idea he had my phone number. But I guess because of his inability to book in advance, the agency I was working for thought it was better that, I'll just give you his number and you guys just, talk amongst yourselves. So he reached back out and was saying that he had somebody new, and that he wanted me to come over just to explain to her about what we call the lifestyle, right? Like inviting other people into your bedroom and exploring your sexual side. And that's all it was going to be about. So when I went over there, I didn't know who it was going to be. I just knew that he kind of wanted me to kind of like drop the knowledge on what to expect with all this and see if it piqued her interest.
Okay. And this time it was Daphne Joy.
Yes, but I didn't know it was her at that point. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was Daphne.
All right. So describe that first meeting.
The first meeting, I met him at a hotel in, I think, South Beach. And he sat with me for a second and was just like, hey, yeah, I got a new girl. I want you to explain to her a little bit about the lifestyle. She seems very interested in it because I told her that I'm interested in it. So if you can kind of explain to her the subtle nuances, involved in the lifestyle, like that would be a big help to him. I was like, sure. So I come in, I sit down, Daphne comes out, we greet each other, and she's immediately like inquisitive. She wants to know every single thing about the lifestyle, what it's like inviting a third party into the bedroom, the type of relationship strength you need to be able to endure that, just every different angle of the lifestyle. So she was very much a willing participant, and I'd go as far to say excited for the journey. And that proved to be so, because by the end of this, she was, she was saying, coordinating what you're going to wear or what music we're going to listen to and how we're going to do this and that. So it was a great growth for her during that period of time.
So the first freak off with you, Diddy, and Daphne, was it pretty much the same as Cassie?
Pretty much the same in that the way that they went about the night, the scheduling of it was pretty much the same. The difference was Daphne was so much more wanting to be in the room. So me and him had a lot of time to just kick it and smoke and talk. But with Daphne, she was like right there. She wanted to smoke. She wanted to talk. We were talking about our kid. We just, we switched off, in the parent mode, all of us having kids. We talked about kids. We did all that stuff. So, and then it gradually got back into the lifestyle and what to expect and what she felt was sexy and how to incorporate that into what we were trying to build at that time.
Okay, but the same routine. Essentially, you guys would start with various types of foreplay, which would lead into penetration, and then you would pull out, bust on her, then she would bring it to Diddy?
Yeah, pretty much. Except for the last part. I had no idea she was bringing it to Diddy. So, whichever camera, but yeah, I had no idea. So, but yeah, that was the whole flow of things, yeah.
Well, Daphne ended up taking the stand, and she talked about this particular situation. And she painted it slightly differently. She said the moment the relationship soured for her and Diddy was when she was asked to participate in the first freak off, which he called hotel nights. So after the hotel was set up, she would get dressed up in lingerie, and Diddy told her that a male escort named Dawn, who he knew, was coming. The woman, the escort poured baby oil on each other, 12 bottles at a time. They started with touching. Basically, she said that she was trying to move things along. Combs was like, no, let's slow down. But she said the initial experience performing a freak off made her happy because it was taboo, but she thought this was just one night of fun. She didn't think she'd be doing it again, but it opened up Pandora's box. She was never able to shut it. Because she said after the first freak off, 90% of their sexual experiences involved Diddy, her, and another man.
Okay.
Were you aware of this?
I was not. To my knowledge, I knew that he spoke of other people, but in those instances with us, it was only, I kind of thought I was the only person involved at that point, at least in this area. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't know about the intricacies after the fact.
Okay, but you continued to meet with them dozens of times?
Right.
So by the second or third time, you realized, okay, this is Daphne Joy, a.k.a. 50 Cent's baby mother.
Right.
Did you feel any type of way about that?
I don't know that, man.
It is what it is.
I don't know that, man.
Right.
And, it is what it is. Like, yeah.
Well, and you guys always met in Miami.
Right, we always met in Miami.
Either in hotel rooms or a couple times at Diddy's Star Island home.
Yeah, the last 2 times at his house.
Okay. And at one point, he kind of pranked you a little bit.
He did. He pranked me a little bit. It's a scary moment. So, I don't think he did it on purpose. But so he's always made the jokes that you and I would hear, right? Like, oh, he's this, Illuminati, sold his soul, like certain stuff like that. So he jokes around like that. So the last time I'm at his house, we're in his bedrooms, huge, like 2,000 square foot bedroom. Daphne's on one side, he's on the other side, and I'm kind of in the middle of the room. And he's trying to show me, because I've never been in here before, that the Alexa controls the lights and stuff. So he's like, Alexa, turn off and stumbled over his words, and all the lights went out in the room, right? So up until that point, I've known this man like 8 years at this point, right? I've complete faith that this was a heterosexual male. But because of all the jokes, when them lights went off, I got scared. I was like, oh no. Like, so I dropped down to the ground, butt down, boom, right? Just in case, you never know. It's dark, I'm in a new place, I'm scared. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, no sir. So I'm sitting down on the ground and I'm kind of like, I'm bugging out, but And all of a sudden I hear, and it sounds like it's coming from all around me. Hey, Don, you know they say I'm gay. I'm like, what?
It's just me. Diddy tricked all of us. Everyone was thinking that Diddy was always a straight dude. Man, this shit is just crazy, man. Diddy was in the room and he was telling the guy, get a king, do it to her. Man, Diddy was definitely a weird type of guy for getting guys with BBC to bang his chick while they watch and masturbate. Man, that ninja is a crazy type of ninja, man. So a lot of people are saying that Diddy always been gay. A lot of gay rumors been coming out about Diddy, saying that Meek Mill and Diddy was in a relationship. He was clapping Meek Mill cheeks. French Montana, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, everybody on that 50-foot bed, allegedly. So all of this shit that been going on, TD Jakes being at the freak off, praying for the sheets in the bed, these ninjas was really out of control doing all of this freaky stuff and think that it was normal. This is what they do in Hollywood. They take drugs, they get drunk, they get prostitution, they do all type of freaky shit. This is where they get their freak off and do what they want to do, where other people be saying, man, I never believed that celebrities would be so freaky. These people that are rich and powerful, they always try to do the most ugliest thing ever in life. They always try to do the worst, man. So I don't see no one being a freak just like Diddy. Diddy beat everyone when it comes to the freaky shit. Why would you have baby oil with all of it laced with cocaine? What were you planning to do, man? And you got butt plugs, dildos, all type of stuff in your house. 800 dildos? Man, that was just crazy, man. A container load of dildo, baby oil, lube. Man, Diddy was a real freaky guy, man. And we had to do something about the situation because this ninja was wildin'. He was hooked on drugs. He was turning all of these girls in sluts. And a lot of these ninjas were saying, man, these girls are the baddest broads in this industry. They're willing to do whatever. So even if any of these girls leave Cassie, all of these guys is gonna flack them because they want a girl that is down for whatever, man. But it is what it is, man.
And most of the men on there, yeah, he forced me to open my asshole. Did he though? Did he? Did he though? Did he do that? Did he force you guys, or did you guys just like see it as the easiest way to get to where you wanted to go? Cause there's a difference. He forced you to open your asshole. Did he? Did he? No, not Diddy. Not that Diddy did it. That Diddy? Did he? 50 Cent is petty, he's gangster, and he's definitely got balls by putting out that Diddy documentary. Pero también es un hombre que siente y padece. He's just a man with emotions, and that feelings for sure got hurt when his ex, his baby mama, started dating Diddy. Yes, I do think that Diddy did offer to go take him shopping, and that must have been like, motherfucker, cabrón, ¿qué tú me estás diciendo a mí? But at the same time, when someone starts dating your ex, your baby mama, is a potential stepfather to your child, and you know that this dude le rompe el culo a todo el mundo, you start to worry. And yes, there's mixed emotions there. I'm not saying that que lo que él hizo está mal, pero I saw the documentary. And in no point in the documentary did I see 50 talking about how his ex was dating Sean Puffy Combs. All the other men that Diddy went after their girls, they were in the documentary talking. No, que Diddy es un cabrón, y sí, él siempre está detrás de las mujeres, and he went after this guy's girl, and then you see the guy talking, yeah, he tried to fuck my girl. I didn't see 50 say that though. And not for nothing, the documentary is cool and whatnot, pero no es nada que nosotros no sabíamos. It's nothing that we didn't know. I have to say, if you would have told me a year, 5 fucking years ago, oh, Diddy is weird. Yeah, I knew that. I've been known. I saw Make the Band. I grew up with that shit on VH1 or MTV, wherever the fuck it was. I seen Diddy. I remember the commotions, and I've seen him talk, and I seen how he does this. Nothing that of the information that was given was new. Maybe este documental es pa gente joven. Maybe this is just for young people to understand what Diddy's about, to understand what the music industry was or kind of still is. Free on YouTube is the rest, pero si quieres darle la mano a un hermano, $5, you subscribe subscribe here and you help a brother out. This brother, okay? Este hermano me ayudarías a mí. Pero if you're strapped, if you're tight, and you've been buying way too many fucking Christmas gifts, yo lo entiendo. Free on YouTube. Por lo menos dale click allá, dale subscribe, dale like, dale compartir. Haz lo que tú sabes que tiene que. Please, just do what the fuck you know you gotta do to help a brother out, okay? If you don't have the $5, if you do have the $5, thank you very much.